Welcome to the Left Hand Backhand Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Cook, joined by Mr. Spangler. Jeff, how are we today?
We are rock solid, baby.
Rock
Ready to
solid.
rock
Pause.
solid.
All right. Well, we got
Start
a
out
new
with a pause.
with a
That's
bang.
a strong start.
With a bang. Well, we've got a semi-different show today. Little bit NFL draft centric. The draft is going on tomorrow, probably today if you're listening to it on Thursday. Um, and then I've got a random dealer's choice, a little random trivia for Jeff. And then we're going to have a draft that I've wanted to do for quite some time pre Jeff joining the podcast. And that is the best chocolate candy bars. So I don't know how similar we're going to be in our takes, but it should be fun.
Should be good.
Um, Starting off, Jeff, any recent news, anything in the modern media
Oh,
or
big
something
time.
that is on the frontal lobe of your cranium that you want to talk about?
Uh, yes. PGA wise, since we just had the Masters and the Live Golf versus PGA feud slash drama has been constantly, you know, going.
Yeah.
And people talked about it a lot during the Masters, but the PGA said, "Hey, you know what? We want to reward all of our PGA Tour loyalists." And they gave a man who does not need more money, Tiger Woods, will receive up to $100 million in
Yeah,
equity
I saw that. I was
as
like,
part of a newly
what?
created for-profit tour enterprises, with McIlroy getting about half of that.
Yeah.
So just between them two, $150 million, just saying, hey, you know
In
what? We
equity
appreciate
though.
you in
Not
equity.
not in
Still
money.
crazy. Still crazy
Equity.
in
Crazy.
equity, which means if it continues to grow, they continue to make money on top
Yeah.
of that. That's better than money because the inflation won't touch it. So that's in the feud, which is funny because pickleball is going through a similar feud
Are they really?
between yeah, there's a Major League Pickleball MLP, which is its own kind of league that has been forming and growing, that all of, when I texted you about Kevin Durant and Drew Brees and LeBron, they were all buying teams in this
Oh,
Major
yeah,
League
yeah, yeah,
Pickleball.
yeah.
They
Uh-huh.
all that's it's grown into its own league, but all the players have been signing contracts between the PPA, pause, and the MLP, and they've been trying to merge it. They did for a little while, but that didn't contract didn't work, and now there's a lot of back and forth on who can play in what. So some of the players, the top players, are playing in the other league, and so it's difficult to gauge who's actually better because they're not playing each other. So
Well,
yeah, it's same thing. Multiple sports.
yeah. Uh it's just the I don't get that these major sports leagues have ability to change because like in my mind it's been the same since I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Mhm. But if I
It's
think
like
back to like ABA, NBA when I was alive,
right. It's like wait,
you
hold
know,
up. Like the
that
NFL
was
has
a
been the
real
NFL
thing.
for pretty much our entire lives. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Same with the
Yeah, and
NBA.
it was growing, but NBA, there was all, if I watched semi-pro, I'm like, oh,
Nope.
maybe,
Hmm.
maybe it could have been like that.
Speaking of which, do you think that the NFL will ever successfully have like a minor league
Good G League?
consistent program? Because like they have the XFL, the USFL, the AFL. Like they've had all these different attempts at creating essentially a minor league NFL. Like The
Well,
Rock
be
owns the XFL,
yeah.
and I think two of them have merged recently to form another new one. But like it's flopped every single time. Do you think
The
it'll ever
problem
be
is
successful?
the other leagues that do that aren't very successful either. I mean, the NBA tries to market the G League as much as they can, and they've been trying ever since they changed it from the D League. But they've been trying to merge it and make it a bigger deal. But even then, that's difficult. People just want to watch the best of the best. So they're obviously going to want to watch NFL. And even over the last couple of years, the NFL viewership has dropped um, significantly for various reasons. But if that's dropping, then how are they going to maintain a minor league team if they do the XFL? So, but everybody knows when they see a player who's done badly in a big game, the memes and the jokes are always, all right, we'll see you in the XFL, buddy.
Yeah.
Like it's people know about it, so it's big enough a deal, but I don't know.
It's big enough
I think
people
it's
know about it,
possible.
but
They
it's
just need
it's
to put
not
money into it.
it's not ever done well. You know,
Yeah, I mean, The Rock, didn't he like put a bunch of money into it
he owns
in
the
his
XFL. Yeah,
he owns it, yeah. So I mean, he's tried to bring it alive. I just don't think it's going to work efficiently with all the money they have to put into it. They will constantly lose money on it
yeah, 100%.
because
Uh,
people won't pay.
in other NFL related news, what do you think of the new jerseys? There are 4 teams that have officially announced new jerseys, and the Jaguars have teased a new jersey, which I'm
I've
actually
seen the
excited about
fourth,
the
but not the Jag.
Jaguars. They just teased saying that they're going back to kind of an old school like Maurice Jones-Drew era
A lot of
Jags, which
teams
I'm
are
like,
doing that.
that's how it should, that like those were their best jerseys. Like that's what they need to go back to. So good for them. Um, the Broncos
Yeah,
gag me, dude.
if we're gonna rank them, the Houston jerseys are the best, easily.
Okay, I have thoughts. We'll get there. Broncos first. They
Disgusting, disgusting.
yeah, it's
Only
freaking
one of those
it's
four jerseys that they unveiled are even decent.
correct, and that's the one that they should have full time because it's their best one, and it's always
Yeah,
been their best one.
it's been really good.
They look like a mix of UTSA and Virginia.
Which are both
They're
not
the
pro
road
teams,
running
so it makes you.
Cavaliers. They are
It's not good.
terrible.
Not
It's
good.
so bad. I sent it to my buddies that are diehard Bronco fans, and I was like,
So sad.
Your organization is a joke.
I'm
You have
about to see
Zach
Zach
Wilson now."
Wilson in that. I'm about to see Zach Wilson in a horrible Broncos jersey. Like, oh, this is
I
a
was like,
top
Zach
tier
Wilson
meme.
needs to be number 3. That way, everybody who bought a Russell Wilson 3 jersey, they can just keep the Wilson 3, and then it's the same. But he's not going to be number 3.
He'll be two.
Yeah.
He'll still wear the
So
Wilson though. You know that. People are gonna wear and be like, "Yo, third string quarterback. Yeah,
yeah, who cares? So
we're not
that's
gonna win
funny to me.
anyway."
But like they're lighter blue with the lighter orange
Hmm.
throwback
Yeah,
77s,
that's the
1977.
only one.
They're their best jerseys, and they've
Hmm.
always been their best, and
Those
they need to just
other,
go to it full time. And
oh,
I don't think anybody, I live in Denver area, nobody in Denver would complain. They would probably be through the roof, raise the
mhm.
roof. Hey, not like I
The
taught you.
ceiling is through the roof.
Hey, no,
The,
like I taught
the
you.
ceiling, the ceiling is the roof.
The ceiling is the roof.
Thanks, MJ.
Next is the Jets. They essentially just like removed the oval football shape around the word Jets.
Hmm. Which is fine.
And
It's a throwback again. They teased it last season, and it's some of the, they talked about in the Hard Knocks, but it's kind of that old school, I don't know, 80s, 80s to the 90s Jets.
yeah,
And it's got some
like
good stuff. I get
the
it. It's
green
simpler.
the green doesn't feel old school enough to me because it's like vibrant and kind of like a
You have
cutting
to do that
green.
though. You have to do that. You can't
Sure.
make it
So like
mute. It won't
it's
be.
it's whatever.
But the
I'm not
white ones are fine. You know,
Yeah.
that's
The white ones
their
are much better than
almost
the green ones. I don't care for the black ones.
black ones are
Honestly. Um where we love
easy.
all in this podcast.
Yeah.
So
No
they're like
discriminating the
I would
jerseys.
give it a C. Like it's better than what it was before. It's not
Yeah.
great.
Their normal ones are B. I think the rest of them are C.
Broncos got a straight F for me. Jets, I'll give a C. The team that I will give the A to is the Lions.
The
I
Lions I like. I don't
love
love
like
it, but I like it.
they went from being nothing special to like all of a sudden it pops. And I'm like, yes, I like this. This looks way better. It just like they like cleaned up the lines and just made it crisp.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think it's
good.
great.
I don't love it.
It's not a makeover. It's not a redesign. It's like a fresh new haircut kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like same
Sure.
Lions look,
Just
just
so everyone can see your fresh new haircut.
clean
Psych,
cut.
you
Oh,
don't have
I
one.
don't have a haircut. I got the mullet rocking, baby. Let's go. I
Okay.
do need a haircut soon. Actually, no, I don't.
You
Maybe I
need
do.
big haircut.
Big haircut. Big tuna.
The big haircut.
Anyways, I like the Lions. I'd give them an A because of just they didn't overdo it. They improved what they had before, and it looks clean and good. I just like it a lot. And then that leads us to what you were saying you liked, and I don't. It's the Houston Texans.
Really? The red?
Yeah.
Red is
The
beautiful.
red one, fantastic. The H, like light blue H logo,
Hmm.
super cool.
Hmm.
They don't have navy blue anymore. It's like pretty much black.
But I'm okay with that.
it doesn't look.
I didn't love the navy blue to
It's
begin with.
way too close to the Falcons, and just
But if the
like
Falcons do a little bit of changing up, then it's
no,
gonna work out anyway.
I just think they have the baby blue. Don't go black and baby blue and red and white. Like just keep the navy, have a different color blue and the red. If literally if you just took their new darker shade of blue and you turned it to what it was before and kept the accent light blue, kept the vibrant red, I would give them an A. But because of the black, it just doesn't look good to me on any version of their new uniforms. And I want to like it a lot, but it doesn't look as good to me. I do really like the new H though. I think that looks sick.
And see the rating on the grading they gave on CBS, they
They give
gave
them an A.
they gave them an A and gave the Lions the A minus, but
Yeah.
you know, the H Town, I just really like the color scheme. I mean, even the little text in the H on the helmet, the black and the red, with that, I still like the accented colors.
I like the
The
accented
white,
colors. I just want it to be blue, not
the white
black.
one does look more falcony, but again, I'm not too worried because the ones that everyone's gonna want to see are the ones with the red
I'm not
helmet,
I'm
the
not worried
shiny and the
either, but I liked their color blue before. Like I liked their it was a darker navy for sure, but it
this is
wasn't
the
it
CJ
wasn't borderline
Stroud
black.
era. They needed to change it up from
Nah,
the TJ Watt or the
I think the
JJ Watt
black
era.
I think the change was good and needed, but just they went too far with that one color. That's it. It's my only
You
complaint.
need to, you need to take back your whole point and that you just have to disagree completely and just say I'm wrong.
I am entitled to my own opinion. Punk.
Ooh.
Um, Speaking of jerseys, because we talked jerseys last week as well. I love the Seahawks jersey. Don't think that they need to change it for a while. Like I think they're great. I've actually always minus the Sean Alexander era Seahawks, like the Steve Largent era, and then like this like newer era of Seahawks jerseys. I think they've always been, maybe not always. Those two eras
Uh,
have been in the
They've
top
been
tier of jerseys in the
really
NFL.
good, really good coloring.
The Chiefs have changed nothing in my entire
They have
life.
stayed exactly the
My two
just
my two
maybe a
franchises,
touch.
Portland and Kansas City, have barely changed their jerseys at all, and they're both good jerseys. But at the same time, I want a little change, but I don't want a lot of change. You know what I mean? I want the Lions change, where it was just like cleaned up the lines and looked a little more crisp.
Yeah,
Because if I bought the Chiefs jersey that I bought when I was in seventh grade, and the Chiefs jersey
and
that I
still
got
work.
a few years ago, that Patrick Mahomes, exact same jerseys.
Yeah, still
Just
works for both time periods. So you
crazy,
just
man.
rock it. May not fit. You'll be muscle
Friggin'
shirting
Derek
it.
Thomas would look the same as Travis Kelsey's jersey now. You know what I mean? Just kind
You'd
of
be
funny.
close.
Kind of funny. Okay. Enough of that. Oh, actually, decent transition. Tomorrow, as we said, or today, is the NFL draft. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a little bit of draft trivia since Jeff is not the biggest NFL head in comparison to
I'm
me.
not. Yeah,
You're
you
more
definitely have the names down and dates.
you're more NBA, but also all sports, whereas I am very NFL and very NBA
Disc golf,
and disc
a
golf.
lot
But
of
like
golf.
I
You're rarely golf, so I wouldn't do that because you
I
still have a
would say
lot of
that
these other.
my
Baseball,
NFL
you're
and
pretty good.
I if I like gave myself like a out of 10 rating, my NFL knowledge is 10 out of 10, maybe 9.5 out of 10. NBA, I'm like a 9 out of 10. And then disc golf, I'm like a 9.5 out of 10. And then
What
everything
about
else
golf?
is like 5.
Golf is only five, you think?
Yeah, I've kind of fallen
Uh,
off
it's seven.
in modern recent years. But anyways,
We'll see. I'm a
the
5 out of 10 on NFL stuff, so
yeah, so this will
this
be
will be
fun.
fun.
So the Chicago Bears have the number one overall pick in this year's draft because they traded away the number one overall pick in last year's draft for the Carolina Panthers to draft Bryce Young.
Hmm.
And Carolina Panthers finished last in the NFL. So now the Bears have the first overall pick again, even though they, I think they have like the ninth pick in this year's draft.
Yeah,
But I
they weren't the worst.
started thinking about number one overall picks. And I'm going to throw a few draft questions at you. And I
Oh
want you to
boy,
tell me first, who was the most recent non-quarterback drafted number one overall?
most recent non. Quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'll give you clues if you ask for them.
um, was it more than 5 years ago?
No.
Okay. I had a feeling it was because I remember it feels like 20.
I've got three very good clues.
Very good clues. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was the player white?
No.
Okay.
First clue, he was a defensive player.
Yeah.
Kind of obvious, but
I was
that's the
just
first
trying to
clue.
think. Yeah. I was trying to think of who.
And then
Was
I've
it Penei Sewell?
no, he was number two or three, I think.
Oh. No,
Um,
he must have been three.
which
No, no,
he
no.
just signed a fatty deal today, dude.
Was he the No, that was 2021, right?
I don't know how to spell Penisul.
Nice. Penisewewl.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to spell on the internet. He was drafted. Oh shoot, 2020.
That was 2020.
Oh, he was the number seven pick. What the heck?
Oh yeah, he
2021.
dropped. I think he was supposed to be higher, but he dropped. That was the
Yeah,
Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson was number two.
that's
That
right.
was
Yeah.
the really heavy quarterback. So
hmm
I'm thinking it was 2020 then.
So the second clue is he played for Georgia.
Oh, uh, dang. I know. I see who it is in my brain.
And the
Uh,
third clue is this team had back-to-back number one overall picks.
yeah. This was
Which can you tell me the team?
the Browns.
No.
Oh, wait. This wasn't the Browns. Then this was
Fourth clue, it was in
pre.
2022.
Oh, okay.
I should have set a timer for you.
You should have. I'm just narrowing down
Yeah.
teams for myself.
Uh, so in 2021, who was the number one overall
Joku,
pick?
2021.
Yeah,
That
he was
was
the number one overall pick.
Trevor Lawrence.
Correct. In
So if it was a Jags
2022,
player,
the
if it
Jags
was
took
Jags.
defensive end out of Georgia, Travon Walker.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have remembered
Very
that. I,
difficult
I didn't
question.
I didn't remember that. And he wasn't
Even
like for
even though
my
that was
for
only a
me, he's
couple
not
years
like a
ago.
star. He's not a star for me right now
Right.
in NFL, so that's why it kind of I didn't talk about
Right.
it too
And
much.
Aiden Hutchinson was taken right after him and has had a
And
way better career so far.
he's done really well with the
He should
Lions.
have been
So
the number one overall pick. But I'm kind of glad that he's in Detroit because he's from Michigan area and he played for Michigan.
yeah. Yeah, Trevor
Um,
Walker, I didn't
okay,
think of
and
that.
the previous number one or the number one overall pick that was not a quarterback was in 2017. So we had I'm just gonna
That
go
a
backdate.
that was also a
Trevor Lawrence in
defensive player.
21, Joe Burrow in 20, Kyler Murray in 2019, Baker Mayfield in 2018, and then in 2017 was a defensive end
What
out of
team?
Texas A&M
What team
Browns.
did he go to? He did go to the Browns. Because
Yep.
that was the Browns era of rough times.
Yep, this was the back-to-back Browns number one overall pick. Which that's kind of crazy that we've had Bears, Jags, and Browns in the last 10 years pick back-to-back years number one overall.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this
They've
year's a little
struggled.
different,
They've
but
struggled again.
yeah.
I don't. He doesn't play for the Browns anymore, so
No, he
I
does
don't
play for the
remember.
Browns. He was the
Wait,
number one overall pick. He
was
plays
it
for the
Chubb?
Browns. No,
Oh, it
defensive
was a
player,
defensive
defensive
player.
end out of Texas A&M. He's a five-time Pro Bowler.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Myles Garrett.
Oh, it was Miles, dude. He's a beast.
And then if we go before that, we have
I didn't know
Jared
he's number
Goff,
one.
then Jameis Winston, and then in 2014, defensive end out of South Carolina was he's one of the greatest plays in college football history where he literally ripped the head off of a running back breaking through the line.
South Carolina? Oh, he played for
He's
his
played for everybody.
dreadlocks.
Played for the
Played for the
Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah. Uh my cousin said he thought he saw him in Seattle one day
Mm-hmm.
walking through like downtown Seattle, and he was like, I swear it was him.
Speaking of which,
Uh
I tried to knock on Marshawn
Jadeveon
Lynch's. There you go. Yep,
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney. I tried to knock on Marshawn Lynch's house in Maple Valley, Washington, and I was not permitted to
You were not
get
permitted
past the
in that
gate.
area. Yeah, they wouldn't
I
let
had a
you
permit for the area, but I wasn't allowed to get past his gate because it's blocked off.
for obvious reasons. And he
Um,
probably wasn't there.
yep. And then the so we have three defensive ends in the last 10 years, and the rest are quarterbacks. Before that, we have one offensive tackle, and that was for my Kansas City Chiefs. You probably don't remember who he is.
Nope.
Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan.
Oh,
Which,
Derek
if
Fisherman. I love that
if
guy.
you look back at that draft, it was actually a good pick. But like at the time, it was like there is not a single player worthy to go number one overall. So it's kind of weird. Before that was Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Matt
Sam
Stafford,
Bradford, man, Oklahoma. Oh,
Jake Long, Jamarcus Russell, Mario Williams, Alex Smith, Eli Manning, Carson Palmer, David Carr, Michael Vick, Courtney Brown for the Browns out of Penn
hmm.
State, Tim Couch, Peyton Manning, Orlando Pace, and the last player that was not a defensive end, quarterback,
Or
or offensive
quarterback.
tackle was in 1996
Safety.
for the New York Jets, wide receiver out of USC,
Uh,
Keyshawn
Keyshawn
Johnson.
Johnson. He's on their panel now. He does post game discussions.
Yeah. But that's
Um,
crazy, right? That the
man,
last player that
he was
wasn't
a
a
number one
tackle,
pick.
quarterback, or D end
That's
was Keyshawn
crazy
Johnson
for the Jets.
in 96 when we were little babies.
He went on to play in the Mark Sanchez era.
No, he didn't.
He did. Sanchez was what, 09?
He was gone long before Sanchez got there.
Keyshawn Johnson, when did he stop playing with the Jets?
He moved around a bunch. He played for Carolina. I think he played for Dallas for a while too. Let's see. Jets 96 to 99, Bucks 2000 2003, Cowboys 04 to 5, and Panthers in 06.
Oh,
But
man, he only
anyways, I
played
just thought
10 years.
that was kind of crazy. Just like looking back at historical draft data, like
Most of them are
it's obviously
quarterbacks.
very QB centric, but like how many of those quarterbacks are good to great versus like mediocre to good?
Yeah.
But all the defensive ends, except for Trevon Walker so far, have been good picks. And the tackles, minus Eric Fisher, have been good picks too. So it's just kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of fun. And then my other trivia question for you is how many NFL teams have never had a number one overall pick? And there's three of them.
You you said the question is how many,
Sorry.
but you mean which ones?
What NFL teams?
How
I
many
apologize.
haven't? And there's three.
How many?
I'm
There's
gonna give you the
three.
answer.
Can you
So how
guess?
many?
Can
How
you guess
many?
how
Count
many?
with me. One, two.
Two,
What's after two?
three.
Three. No, hold, warm.
Warm.
I'm gonna
Okay. Can you guess
say
what the three teams are?
it's been a long time that they've had drafts.
I'll give
The
you a
NFL's been
hint.
around a long time. I'm gonna
Two
say
are in the AFC.
Green Bay.
Nope. Green Bay has had the number one overall pick.
When did they have it? Was that the Brett Favre pick?
I don't remember. I just exited out of that page, so I can't tell you anymore. But
Wow. Right when you asked the question.
yeah. Well, I exited out of my
Two AFC and one NFC.
mhm.
Mm.
And I'll give you clues as you ask for them.
Uh, have they won a Super Bowl?
Yes.
All of them?
All three of them.
Okay. Man, to win a Super Bowl and never have had the number one pick. Pretty solid. Um,
This is great podcasting with the silence.
I don't. I mean, you're giving me tough questions, man. This
Yeah.
is not an easy
Well,
tree. This
no,
isn't
just
like
figured you'd throw out some guesses and we'd kind of talk
I'm gonna
through them. But
say. I mean, if it's AFC, maybe no, the Bills have it.
the
Bills.
one NFC is in the NFC West.
Oh, the Niners.
Nope. Niners took Alex Smith.
Seahawks?
Mm-hmm. The Seahawks have
Seahawks are
never had the
one?
number one overall pick.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Never.
They've
That
gotten
is
up to
crazy.
number two twice, but they've never had the number one overall pick.
AFC, how about we go Giants? No,
AFC
Giants took Eli. That's right.
Giants are in the NFC.
Oh yeah. They're the same as Cowboys and all right.
Your first
Maybe
clue is we've talked about this team for a minute today already.
oh. Uh that's my first clue. Let's go with the let's go with the Jets.
Nope, the Jets have had the number one overall pick. They took Keyshawn Johnson. We just talked about it.
Well, I'm trying to go through it. I don't know who else we didn't talk
We
about the
talked about their
Patriots.
jersey.
We didn't talk about oh, the Texans.
Nope, they've had the number one overall pick multiple times. They took
And
David Carr
then
and Jadeveon Clowney.
well, only person we haven't
What
put
was
in here
they have a new jersey.
that with the Lions.
Nope, they're NFC.
Well, we talked about the Lions, we talked about the Jags,
We talked
talked
about the
about
Lions, the Jags,
Jags, the Jets,
the Jets, the Texans, and
I think. Oh, the fifth one, the one that's a rebrand, but not really. I have t-shirts.
no.
That's four. We talked about four jerseys.
We talked about 5 jerseys. Jags was kind of an honorable mention, and then we had number 4, then the Jets, then the Lions, then the Texans.
Jets, Lions, Texans. Uh, dude, why am I spacing on this?
Our few listeners are very upset with you right now.
Yeah,
They're
I
the
don't know.
closest team geographically to me.
Oh, Chiefs? Never had a number one?
Geographically.
Oh, the Broncos. Yeah, sorry. Dude, it just is such a weird
What?
question to try to think of. Like, oh, we've already discussed them. We
Yeah, we talked
discussed
about
like
their
half of that.
jerseys
We talked about the half of the NFL, and then jersey wise, I only remember the four. But then I put the Jags in there in that fourth
instead of
spot
it. Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of the Broncos because
Yeah, so the Broncos have never had the number one
Broncos
overall
were
pick.
so bad that I just like eliminated them from my brain.
Yeah. And then the last one, they are a newish team. As they start, I can't remember what year they actually started, but it was the team formerly, or the Colts moved from
Titans.
this location to Indianapolis, and then the new team was started there.
Uh,
Before the Colts
Col-
were the
before
Indianapolis Colts, they
before
were
Colts
the
before they had Dayton, they had
no, before they were the Indianapolis Colts, they were in what city?
I don't know this.
Baltimore.
Oh, the Ravens. Okay,
Yeah. Ravens have never had the number one overall
never
pick.
had
So those
number
are the
one.
three: the Ravens, the Seahawks, and the Broncos.
How long have they been doing drafts?
Um, 100 years.
What, they've been doing drafts since 30s, 40s.
I don't know. What?
I'm interested. I didn't know when they started doing drafts from college.
1936 was the first
Wow,
first
90,
draft.
90 plus, 90
So
years almost.
almost 100 years.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And three teams still have never had it.
But also, not those teams weren't always in existence.
That averages to more than like four for some of the teams.
Well,
Four number one picks in their existence,
I
but these three teams
think
have never had a single one.
I think the Ravens were started in like the early 90s or something like that. The Broncos, that one's very surprising to me. And the Seahawks were started in the 70s. So
Yeah,
not as long. But anyways, yep, that's our trivia. So
I struggled through that. That was rough,
sorry.
rough
Sorry
to
about
go
that.
through.
Hopefully you listened on 1.5 speed and it wasn't too bad for you. But
Just fast forward that whole section. You don't need to
yeah.
hear it.
Yeah, I'll
You
put a
can look
little
up the information in about 10 seconds, maybe.
I'll figure out. Yeah, exactly.
Don't cut the
I'll
thing.
try to put a
Make me
bookmark
suffer
at this
suffer
time,
through
jump
that.
to this section, whatever.
Yeah. Skip forward
Okay.
3 minutes.
So do you want my other dealer's choice as the NBA playoffs are going on, or should we move to our draft?
Let's go to the draft and then we can maybe jump back to it at the end.
All right, bet. Um, our favorite or the best chocolate candy bar draft.
This is big.
Now,
This is a big one.
it is. There's a couple, like you can argue a couple of pieces in this draft or whatever, but I think generally we know what it is, and you shouldn't have to argue too hard to justify your selection. Um, per usual, Jeff, I will give you the choice to go first or second.
I will take the number one.
Okay. And I'm gonna write down what I think you're taking.
And this is preferential again because it's hard not to take. There's some that I would take number one, but because of the things I have gone through in my life, the things that have made me who I am,
The things that have
those things
shaped
have shaped.
Jerf
Whoa,
into himself.
we both said shape. at the same time.
Shaped.
Both shape.
Okay.
You have your guess?
Yep.
Number one, and I'm counting it as a chocolate candy / bar.
Yep.
It's got many variations.
Yep.
It's got an extra extra flavor, and extra ingredient, and that is the one and only Reese's.
Yep. That's what I wrote down. And
You
that
never showed it.
oh, I
Let me see.
briefly.
Oh, at the top. I could
Yeah.
not read it. Yeah,
Uh,
I love it, and you know that I do. We talked about cereals before, but I've
true.
never get. I had one the other day.
Um,
It's so good.
I am glad that you took the first pick because that deserved to be taken first. It's not my favorite, but it deserved to
but
be taken first, and I'm thankful for that.
Good. Okay.
And with mine, because it's my actual number one overall pick, it's a variation of the Reese's, but it's different. It's the Take Five.
That's your number
It's
one?
my number one pick. and
Take Five.
I love
Unbelievable.
the Take Five.
Unbelievable. I mean, they've been one of the best ones that they came out with, but as part of a variation, but still.
They're just so different than a Reese's to me. Like a Take Five is
It's
close.
candy bar form. It's got more of a
A
textured
Take
bite.
Five is closer to a Snickers than it is a Reese's.
I agree.
Which, I mean, we're not gonna spoil anything, but
Spoiler alert.
yeah. And with my second pick, because I am too terrified of it not making its way back to me, and I used it in my jingle.
Yeah,
Kit Kat.
that's good. Good pick. Some Kit Kat. It's a great pick. It's up there. It's
I
up
just
there.
think Kit Kats will never not be good. You know what I mean?
The crunch, the wafer,
And I love
light
what
bites are always good.
yeah.
Just
And
it's
I
not
love
heavy.
that the wafer is re-ground up Kit Kat.
It's just Kit Kat on Kit Kats in Kit Kats. It's a Kit Katception.
Like I wonder what nth degree Kit Kat I've eaten. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how many layers of Kit
How,
Kat you've
how many
actually
regrinds have we gone
how
through?
long have the Kit Kats been in existence? Like the molecules that have been around for
Yeah.
eons of Kit Kat creation. They
Yeah,
have
like
seen
like
they have seen World War II.
yeah,
They've
exactly.
seen the turn of the century, and
That
you
actually makes me
ingested
wonder
them.
what year they came out with the Kit Kat. Pause. I didn't mean to say that. What year the
All
Kit
right.
Kat was invented?
I'm gonna say 1971.
35.
Wow.
Wow.
They're older than the NFL draft.
It
That's
was
crazy.
that's that's right.
That's
It was
crazy.
launched in September 1935 as in the UK as a chocolate crisp. That's what it was called.
Well,
It was
that's
renamed
what
the
it is.
Kit
I would
Kat
explain.
Chocolate Crisp in 1937, and then just Kit Kat after World War II.
Oh, and I mentioned World War II. Look at that.
You did. I'm proud of you, Jeff, and
Look at that.
I'm
That's
proud of
awesome.
myself. I got two of. I mean, Kit Kat might be third or fourth on my list, but
Still
it deserved
great
to be
though,
taken in my two, and
because
I'm
I have my 2 and 3 to pick, and I might.
correct.
There's a good chance I would have taken that with my 3.
Right, and I was too scared of that. And you
Yeah.
might take this other one, which I will be sad about, but I would be more
There's
sad to
3
not
that
have
I'm
Tic Tac.
that are close. There's
Tic Tac.
3 that are
Kit Kat.
close. There's
All
3
right.
that are right there, but as a number 2 pick, this is gonna be unpopular, but it is my other one that I always take. If there's a bowl of chocolates and there's like assorted chocolates,
And
I
that's
eat
the
these
way to think
first.
about this draft is if you're
If it's
given a
sorted,
bowl
what am I
of like
grabbing?
even of the minis or the king size, or doesn't matter the size. What are you grabbing? Because what's the best?
And I reach in and I grab a blue bar.
A Crunch Bar?
Nope.
A
No.
Baby Ruth?
Crunches I like. Nope. Nope. And Almond Joy.
Oh,
I know you
Jeff.
don't want to. No, it's fine. I know it's not the
No.
popular choice, but that
I
is my
just
number two. I am
I
obsessed with coconut and I love chocolate
coconut.
coconut.
That's
Easy.
that's
With the
fine.
almond
That's
on top,
I'm
you
not
know.
gonna hate you for
Mickey
liking it
Mountain bars.
because we're allowed to have difference in opinions. I just didn't think it would ever come off the board this early.
Awesome.
Dang it. I didn't
Obviously.
ever think it would fall off the board this
It
early.
but I don't know your preference on coconut flavor or anything.
I
So
don't like
I
coconut.
had to I can see it, but I don't know that. That's it. Coconut isn't something that's like middle of the ground. Most people they either really don't like it or they love it. And I am
Yeah.
on the love side. So I felt the need and I just if I see a
Wait, so
Reese's
what
in
was it?
there,
Almond
I'm
Joy?
grabbing that. Almond Joy. If I see a Reese's in there, I'm grabbing it first. If I have a big Halloween bowl and I see that and it's just like free for all at work, and they're like, here, go ahead. I see that. I see an Almond Joy. I grab that.
That's
My
fair.
third one,
I think I'm gonna get my top five in my five picks, which is totally fine. But that Almond Joy, it sweeted me. That took me for a
help
trip.
you. Well, this one probably will also be that way, but I also love the flavor of this and the texture more than anything. Texture
Mm.
for this, for my number three pick, is a big deal
Okay.
because it doesn't feel too overloaded like other chocolate bars where it feels like they put too much inside of the bar itself. This one is kind of a light, airy one, and that is the Milky Way.
Okay.
Sight
It's in my list.
like Three Musketeers.
Oh,
Love the Three Musketeers.
we
It's
could
airy,
not be
it's
more
light.
different.
I mean, you didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid, so I assume you didn't have a lot of fun going on, outside of eating candy.
Hey, I watched Fairly Odd Parents, and I watched Tom and Jerry, and I watched
Not sure
Scooby
how
Doo.
you were allowed to watch Fairly Odd Parents, but not SpongeBob. Those are
Yeah, it doesn't
that
doesn't make
that doesn't
sense.
make any sense.
Margie, please comment below why that's the case. I think she
I
just
want
had to
to hear I
pick
want to
her
hear the
battles.
logic behind
I
this.
think she just had to pick her battles.
But Three Musketeers,
Dude, as a
you
kid, I
know,
liked Three Musketeers. The older that I've grown, the less and less I like it.
no, I still go back to it. I see
Wow.
that silver wrapper. That's why I said you're probably going to benefit more from this
Yeah, dog. You
if
left
I'm
me
going
my
for it.
next two picks, which I'm so thankful for.
You
This
just
was the
feel
one
very mainstream. You just feel like you're going to pick all the ones that everyone else in the world loves, and it's going
hmm,
to feel very obvious. And I could read you like a book.
I I
I could
have
tell you what your picks are going to be.
I have Take Five as my first pick. I don't think that's the most obvious pick ever.
That wasn't it. I didn't know. I didn't think variations of that nature were really where we were going with this, but I
I
get
think
it.
they're so different that it's not even that
I
close.
can see that. I wasn't going that
That's
direction.
like saying anything made by Mars is not draftable.
Like Mars
Mars
bars,
bars.
I guess.
Um,
If we're gonna go that way, I
yeah.
didn't think of it that way.
This is the pick that I thought you were gonna take, and that's Twix.
And I don't like Twix.
Really?
I don't
I love
I don't
caramel.
like the texture.
Caramel is top
I
tier
don't
for
like the
me.
texture a
Love
lot.
caramel. And I love the texture, which is just
And
interesting.
caramel always gets stuck in my teeth too often, so I had a fear of that growing up with braces. So I didn't eat caramel a lot. So
Hmm,
that again shaped a lot of my candy choices.
dude, that's
And I always was a
very
chocolate bar
interesting.
guy over hard candy. Hated hard candy. There's not a lot that I pause. Not a lot of candy like that I enjoy. It's mostly chocolate bars. Those were gone immediately after Halloween.
Well, I would say this for my last pick because of what you literally just admitted, but I'm
You're gonna take another one
it
instead.
deserves to be taken in my number four, and I almost took this in my number two, but I was too scared of not getting Kit Kat, and that's the 100 grand.
A 100 grand. I never
Love
really
me a
ate
100
them. See,
grand.
and I would have never picked that top five.
100 grand is like a Milky Way and a Crunch Bar mixed together. It's so good.
Okay, well, if you pick this other one, which is gonna be my fifth pick, I I can see why, but I
Well,
bet you won't.
it's you have the next two picks, and then I just have my last pick.
Oh, I have 4 or 5. That's right.
Yeah,
No, I have
and
number. No, no, no.
And I kind of yeah,
I did
because
one,
you went
two.
Reese's, I went Take Five and Kit Kat. You went Almond Joy and Three Musketeers. I went Twix and 100 grand. Now you have your fourth and fifth pick.
Oh, fourth, fifth. Okay, that's right. Well, good.
So your last
That
two
left
picks.
me. That
And
left
I
me
hope you
some
take
good
one of
ones.
mine because I want it to be taken and I don't want it to just be an honorable mention. But like I've got three that deserve that all could be my fifth and final pick.
Yeah. Well, my fourth pick is that bright yellow wrapper. That bright yellow Butterfinger.
Oh, I didn't even have it on my list actually. But it deserves
I love a Butterfinger. I like it's brittle and it kind
yeah,
of breaks apart.
yeah, your flag football career also loves Butterfingers.
I was a Butterfingers. You're right. I dropped a couple big ones.
You were more of
To
a
be fair though,
body
my
catcher.
quarterback wasn't the best, so I,
Hey,
may have had been
hey,
inaccurate.
just because I can't pull flags doesn't mean I'm not a decent quarterback.
No one said that.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, Butterfinger, really enjoy.
I'm actually glad it was taken. It does like again one of those. It deserves to be taken. It
It's
deserves to be on
iconic
this
to be
list.
sure.
Yeah, and
No, no,
I think it's a good pick. It didn't make my list. It didn't even make my top 10. How many do I have? One, two, three, four, five,
which I get.
9.
I know
I have
Snickers.
9 in my list.
The Snickers feels
Oh,
like it shouldn't be an honorable mention. And again, it's right up there with me, but it actually didn't make the cut of my top five. I just don't love Snickers bars. There's too much to them. I don't like how hefty they are. Some people do.
I've got my take 5, and that is twice of what a Snickers is. So like,
So like
it's not
you're
it
fine with it.
if like our if you drafted the way that I would have drafted, it might have made my list because it would have eliminated some of my other choices. But I've got 10 and it's in my top 10, but it's not in my top 5.
My top five, my number five is the good old classic chocolate Hershey bar.
Classic.
And I really liked that as a kid. You'd get that for prizes for things or at school, and it would just, you have the one little, you break them each into their individual rectangles. If you get the bigger king size bar, and then you could eat each section at a time. And then you don't have to really crunch it. I never would eat it all the way right at once. I would just let it melt slowly, and so I would enjoy the flavor more over time. I didn't like to just and then eat it because I didn't. It was more enjoyable to just let it chill.
How many times did it melt in your pocket as a kid?
I never put it in my pocket. It was gone before I ever had to go anywhere.
You just said you savored it slowly.
I savored eating it slowly wherever I was, but I wouldn't open it until I had a chance to just enjoy it. I would eat it bit by bit. I'm not taking it on the run on the road. Also, I lived in Washington, so it's not hot enough to melt most places, even if
But
I did take it with me.
you run hot. If you put that thing in your pocket, the thing would melt for sure.
I never put it in my pocket.
Okay.
No
Uh,
point in putting. It's either the little tiny chocolates, the individually single wrapped chocolates. They were gone so fast.
yeah.
I would never save those.
That's so
I eat that right
man.
away.
Okay, so Jeff, you have the goat of goats, the number one overall pick in Reese's, and I could not be more different than you in the rest of your draft. You went
Again,
Reese's,
this is
Almond
very
Joy,
different.
Three Musketeers, Butterfinger, and a plain old Hershey bar.
So well
I
done though. The
have
smooth milk
one,
chocolate.
two,
So good.
I have 3 that deserve to be taken, and you didn't take one of them in your last 2 picks. And I'm disappointed.
What are you gonna go Milky Way? Are you gonna go Snickers? What are you gonna go
Um,
for your honorable mentions here?
I'm giving an honorable mention to Milky Way, and an
I
honorable
get it,
mention
but
to
again,
Snickers.
caramel and the caramel are
I
heavy on both of
I've got
those.
my 100 grand and I've got my Twix with my caramel, so I'm good there. I've honorable mention to Snickers. It's good. And these next like these other 2 honorable mentions, because these aren't my pick, but they kind of serve the same purpose. And that's a Toblerone and a Heath bar.
That bar's good.
I
Yeah,
love I
I just
love
don't
both of
think it
those.
overtakes the Hershey's plain. I just think the Hershey's plain is too iconic,
Mm.
too delicious. They have the recipe. Toblerones are good. Again, I didn't really eat them growing up. I just never had them.
That's a later in my
Washington.
life stage. Like
Yeah, I can see why.
as
It's
I
got a
grew
different
up,
flavor to it.
Toblerone is good. I like toffee bits. I think it's great, which is why I like Heath bars too. But what I'm going to take for my fifth and final pick is a better version, which some might not agree with that, and that's okay. I don't need people to agree with it. I've already won the draft. But
Yeah, whatever.
a better version of what you took in your fifth and final pick, and that's the Hershey's Cookies and Cream bar.
Which is really good. Really good.
It definitely won't make everybody's
Really
list.
good.
I
But it's
love,
a white chocolate. People don't love the white chocolate.
dude. Don't hate on Jason Williams.
White chocolate isn't really actually chocolate.
Don't hate on
So
Jason Williams.
white chocolate, Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah, I learned that growing
Okay.
up. I liked white chocolate, but it actually isn't chocolate. So I don't consider that a chocolate bar to me.
Well,
It's not
it
white chocolate's not real chocolate. We just call it white chocolate.
okay. It is to me. And
Chocolate with cacao.
if you
That's what.
go to a chocolate bar section of a grocery store or a candy store or whatever, it's gonna be
Okay,
there.
if you want to you want to be like that, then sure. There's a lot of things in there that qualify as a chocolate bar, but I wouldn't call chocolate bars.
It's as much of a chocolate bar as
Chocolate
Reese's
candy.
is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
White chocolate isn't even
it is
cocoa
as much of
besides
a
the little
chocolate
dots.
bar as Reese's is.
It's
It's
not
not
though.
as chocolate as Reese's is, but it's still a chocolate bar. It's a bar of
Not as it's
white
only
chocolate.
5% chocolate. Those tiny little
Okay.
droplets in it are the only chocolate part of it.
No. It's
You
friggin'
got to have at
delicious.
least
And it
30 to
also has
50%
cookie
chocolate.
bits, which cookie bits are chocolate.
No, cookie bits are cookie.
It has
Chocolate is
Oreo.
chocolate.
It has
Okay.
Oreo bits, which are
Oreo, which is
Oreo
the
cookies.
chocolate in the cookie, but it's
Do you
not.
not call it
Cookie
an
does not.
Oreo cookie? Is
I don't
Oreo's
call. I don't.
tagline not Milk's favorite
I don't
cookie?
say, "Can I have a chocolate cookie?" I say an Oreo cookie.
Dude, the
It's a cookie.
disrespect right now of you
It's
not
not disrespectful.
qualifying Oreo as a cookie as
White
chocolate.
chocolate
Like,
is not chocolate. It's not. It's
yes,
not
it is.
real.
It is
Look up
chocolate.
the ingredient. We just call it
Why
that
why is it called white chocolate?
because it's easy to say that, but it's not real
Then
chocolate.
what is it, Jeff? What is
All
it?
right.
Because
Why?
it is 100% in the chocolate bar family. And that is what we are drafting. Don't
Okay,
disrespect my pick like that.
I'm going to.
No, you took freaking Almond Joy second overall. Like, just because you lost the draft doesn't mean you need to
Almond Joy is
shat on my last pick.
very solid chocolate bar.
It,
It's just got coconut in it. It's still chocolate covered.
this is just okay.
All right, white chocolate is made of butter, sugar, milk solids, vanilla, and fatty food additive called lecithin.
And what's
That's
the
it. There's
chocolate made out of?
no chocolate. Chocolate's made of cacao. Chocolate. What
It,
chocolate's based out of. That's what chocolate is. Literally chocolate. You can't compare butter to cacao powder. If you make brownies, you have to use cacao powder.
white chocolate comes from the same cocoa beans as regular chocolate, but bypass several of the production steps. Same
It's not chocolate.
cocoa
It's
beans.
butter. It's a butter. They don't use cacao powder. They don't use anything that makes it
It
chocolate.
doesn't have cocoa or chocolate liqueur, but it still has cocoa beans in it.
No, no. You cannot call that chocolate. You can't call that. It's using butter.
Jeff,
It's a butter derived from it. You want to use butter?
yes, butter is the greatest
Butter
food
comes from
on earth.
butter comes from milk, but you wouldn't call butter milk, would you? You wouldn't say, "Oh, this is milk." You would say this is butter because it
Correct, because it's
comes
its
from
own
the same
thing.
location.
White
It's its own
chocolate
thing.
is
It's not
chocolate. It's just
chocolate.
a
No.
variant of it. Yes.
We'll put that in the comments. We'll see who thinks what, but it
I
is not chocolate.
I'm legit getting a little bit heated because it is still chocolate.
We'll text Devin, each of us,
Devin
or
doesn't
one of
know
us.
anything.
Oh,
Slander to Devin
okay.
right there.
Ah,
But
yikes.
I don't trust Devin's food
Who do
takes.
you
He
trust?
sees food and he goes nom nom nom.
Who do you trust?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who would you trust? Who would you trust to make a correct something like a comment on this that you'd be like, you know what, they wouldn't be biased on this.
You know
know
what?
anybody
Let's
that
go
you would
like Russell Crowe.
25601
Let's go like Russell Crowe or like
Sheryl Crow
no, not
or
Sheryl
the
Crow.
Crow.
The Crow. Okay, no, let's ask Steve Carell.
Steve,
I trust Steve Carell.
what about Bentley?
Yeah, let's ask Bentley.
Go ahead, text him right now.
Okay, I'm texting him live.
If he responds before the end, we'll have the answer.
All right. Is white chocolate chocolate? I should just call him live on air.
Okay, do it.
Okay. Well, we got a quick minute here for my
I have
fifth
I
and final
I have
segment.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
real quick, I just texted my wife to ask if she could bring in. I forgot my charger for my computer and it's at 5% battery, so it may die
All right. And
soon.
if you die, then you die,
If
and we
if
roll
I
with
do,
it.
but if it unalives itself, whatever. But I asked her to bring
Unalives
in.
itself.
If she brings it in, then I won't have to worry about it. But I texted her twice, so we'll see.
All right. Um.
So that just
Well,
so you're aware.
please vote on who you think won the
Two votes.
draft.
Vote on it whether you think you won the draft,
Vote
and
on two
two, if
things.
you think white chocolate is technically chocolate, or if it's not chocolate in your eyes.
Yeah.
If you don't count it as in the same category as chocolate.
It
It's so unfortunate that you
you're
believe that.
so dumb. You're so
It's
dumb.
like delusion is so far ingrained in your brain that you've just been brainwashed to be a sheep hopping away in the way of life.
So have you had those like Lind chocolate balls?
Like,
And there goes Jeff. Jeff's gone. Well, see you, Jeff. Okay, I'll save this final segment for next week. Essentially, I saw a debate as to like build your Mount Rushmore of X, Y, or Z. And without spoiling it, I saw a take and I was like, I don't know if I'm sold on that. So we'll talk about that next week. But NBA playoffs are going on. Go watch. Please vote on who you think won the draft because we know it was me. And please vote if you think white chocolate is chocolate. Like it is white chocolate. It is what it is. Like I'm at a loss for words here, people. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your sibling's best friend. Tell them to like and follow the pod. And we'll pass to Jeff for the final word. Jeff. Oh, that's because you're not there. Lefty's out.